What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the 2025 Honda Accord. This one is the hybrid EXL, finished in platinum white. MSRP is around $36,500. Big shout out to Flo Honda of Statesville for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked down below. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid, you're going to find the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine with, of course, a hybrid system. Net horsepower is 204 and net torque is 247. This is front-wheel drive, has a CVT transmission. Curb weight is around 3,500 pounds and it runs on a 12.8 gallon fuel tank. You're also looking at 51 miles per gallon in the city with 44 out on the highway. The overall length is 195.7 inches with a wheelbase at 111.4. Width is 73.3 and height is 57.1 inches. Moving on to the styling with the 2025 Honda Accord, it's a very minimalistic looking vehicle, I would say. You do have a nice set of headlights with a dark housing, daytime running light in them as well. It leads nicely into the upper front grille where you're going to see that Honda logo, some gloss trim throughout the mesh, and active grille shutters behind it. You have parking sensors all throughout it, a small opening to allow some airflow through the bumper, and a gloss black front splitter. You can see another opening down below to provide cooling, and overall it's a really clean looking front end. Nothing too extravagant or flamboyant, very simple I would say. You can also see a few sharp body lines throughout the hood fading towards the windshield, so it has a kind of a modern minimalistic appearance I would say overall. At the side profile you have a nice set of 17-inch wheels finished in a gunmetal gray with a split 5-spoke design. You can also see a sharp body line throughout the front, and then a sharp line cutting through the entire side profile. You have some gloss black on the lower rocker panel, and then body color on the mirrors, along with a turn signal. You have body color on the door handles as well, and all black trim surrounding the windows with a chrome trim piece on the upper portion. We have a sunroof up above, along with a shark fin antenna. And then moving to the side profile, it has a pretty nice proportional design to it, as you can tell. Again, very simple, so there's really nothing too character-filled with the design. It's just a really simple-looking car. However, at this rear corner, I do kind of see Audi RS7 in it with this sloping rear end, so that's kind of a cool touch. That sharp body line makes its way towards the taillight where it disappears, and then you can see how this sedan does have that sloping roof line into the rear hatch area. You can see a nice set of taillights with the red and blacked out housing, and it's all connected with one bar with a small Honda logo right in the center. We have all the badging, hybrid and Accord, parking sensors in the back, and then more of this gloss black trim for the rear bumper. So that's a nice touch versus just plastic black. Moving on to the key fob, we have lock, unlock, remote start, and the trunk release. If I go ahead and lock the car, you can just grab the door handle, it'll automatically unlock, and we can check out the black leather trimmed interior. Very simple with all just the one color. Taking a look at the door panel finished in black. We do have some soft touch up above, some trim as well. Nice padding on the armrest with a really cool feeling material. Feels like it's smooth leather. I'm pretty sure this might be vinyl. We do have some real leather throughout the interior though. All these controls, memory seating, release handle as well, extra storage, power controls for the seat, and then you see the smooth black leather with the contrast stitching, and then all perforated leather throughout the center. So nice seat overall actually, very plush looking, looks like a pretty comfortable place to be. And then we have a black leather wrapped steering wheel with some black trim and a chrome Honda badge. And then now inside the 2025 Honda Accord, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Engine won't necessarily turn on every single time given we do have a hybrid system. We have that digital gauge cluster which is a nice touch along with the multimedia screen. You can see on the left side we have some controls for Bluetooth and audio, and then on the right side we have cruise control, forward pacing, along with your lane keeping. Now we do have the paddle shifters on the left and right side to adjust the regen braking. On the right side you're going to see the windshield wiper stalk, and then the left stalk is for all the turn signals. Taking a look at the screen itself, we have the power gauge on the left side, speedometer on the right, and then I can scroll through a little bit of this right screen, seeing a few things of information, which is a nice touch. You can also see the fuel and temperature, also your EV system down below. Now on the left side we do have one of your air vents with this cool mesh design to it with some black trim, some more of this nice trim to it, all black across the dashboard, and then this soft touch material. You have this nice silver mesh you're going to see throughout the air vents, which is a really cool way to connect them, very similar to the Honda Civic, and then a larger screen. As you can tell, we can see right now we have our current drive along with our range, which is exceptionally long, but you can see basically the hybrid system working. All touchscreen buttons throughout this. You can see all that information, trip computer as well, So pretty easy to use, pretty snappy, a little bit more up to date than the screens you get on the rest of the Honda. So nice to see it all being the touchscreen with some feedback to it. Still have the same shortcuts on the left side and everything. And then on the far right side, we have power flow, and you can adjust this a little bit. So you can see a few things and swipe them left and right to alternate. So pretty cool touch the way everything's set up. From here, we can pop it into reverse. You're gonna get a backup camera, all your parking sensors, and then you can adjust your view a little bit, as you can tell. Going back into park, exits out of there. You have a small little volume icon on this top left part, and then down below we have physical climate controls. So you can see the fan speed right in the center, dual zone temperature, you are able to sync, heated seats as well, plugs and wireless phone charging, and then our shifter. We have extra storage on the far right side along with 2 cup holders, and then down below we have the park and brake, your E button right here, which will put it into the EV mode, as you can see. So auto or EV, which is a really cool touch. You have drive modes as well, you can toggle. We have a sport mode, individual, and then normal, as well as eco. Behind all that, we have some nice padding on this armrest with the black leather, and then extra storage all down below that. I like the little bit of extra stitching right here, and then cubby down below. So one last look at the interior. Kind of looks like the Honda Civic, just a little bit more upscale, which definitely makes a lot of sense. So I like the updates in this over its little brother, the Civic. Nice view around, light color headliner with a manual sunshade up there, and then you can pop this down. We have a sunglass holder. We have our roof control as well, dome lights, and then just a nice auto dimming mirror. Moving on to the rear seat space for the Accord, if I open up the door, take a look at everything. So in back, you're gonna get a similar design for the door panel, however, just molded plastic rather than the soft touch. You do get this nice soft touch vinyl on the armrest, however. A little bit of storage in your grab handle, extra storage down below, and then all the same back here with the smooth leather material with some perforations throughout the center. Center seat, you can pull this down. You're gonna get a nice armrest along with 2 cup holders. Headrests are fixed, so that will probably pose a little bit of an issue for visibility. However, you do have nice air vents down below with extra plugs, and then a little bit of storage behind the passenger seat. So hopping into the back seat with the Honda Accord. So I'm 5'11" sitting here, and I have pretty good headroom, and with the driver's seat at my height, several inches of legroom and knee room. I like the seat bases. They are pretty long, so they're actually supporting my leg all the way up to my joint, which is a nice touch. You feel like you actually have some support. Headrest is in a pretty good place. When I do recline my head all the way back, my hair is touching the ceiling a little bit, but the recline angle is really good. These don't recline anything extra, but they are literally reclined the way they sit. So this is actually really nice. These windows are nice too, gives you a lot of extra visibility. So having the armrest and climate vents, this seems like a pretty well appointed back seat, especially for the affordable price, as well as the MPG you're gonna get. So if this is gonna be your family sedan, you're gonna have no problem with grown-ups in the back, car seats, kids. This is gonna be a very practical car. Moving on to the trunk space for the Accord, there's a button right beneath the Honda badge. Spring assisted will pop open. You got over 17 cubic feet of cargo space in here. This is really practical overall, as you can tell. Very low load floor, given there's no rear drivetrain components. And underneath here, we can pop this open. You're gonna get hidden storage space. There's no spare tire, so you have this inflator kit instead with extra cubbies. And then from here, we can just pull these and then manually push down the seats. With them down, you can see just how much more room you're gonna get from the trunk into the cabin. They're gonna fold nearly flat. You do have these hooks that are gonna be there. However, this is a huge opening into the trunk. So I think you're gonna be able to fit a lot of items. Maybe you're going off to college and need to load this up. Accord seems very practical for people as well as cargo. So setting off now, I'm gonna tap the E button over here, put us into EV mode. This will basically let you drive in electric as long as you're not flooring it and going slow. So great for parking lot, neighborhood, stuff like that. So right now we're in pure electric mode. As I get a little bit of speed going, 30 miles an hour, the engine does kick in. So basically this hybrid, it's not a plug-in hybrid, so this isn't supposed to be, you know, an electric vehicle at all. This is just a normal conventional hybrid to where it's going to charge up as you drive. These paddle shifters will adjust your regen. You might be able to see the small icon over on this left side, a little arrow as you tap it, and it lets you have more or less regen. So with it all the way in the right position, if I take my foot off the throttle, it coasts like normal. However, as I tap it, you can see our speed slowly going down, and that'll of course charge the car. So driving now in just a normal drive mode, this is a pretty comfortable car. I wasn't expecting. You are hearing some road noise right now just because this isn't the best road. Well, there's no wind noise or anything like that. This is really smooth. The suspension is absorbing bumps really well. I'm pretty impressed with that. The steering feels nice as well. It has a good weight to it. Doesn't really feel front wheel drive, honestly. It just has a good linear weight as you make the steering wheel turn. Really tight turning circle as well. And what is cool with the drive modes, if you go into individual, you can customize quite a lot for your powertrain. You have eco, normal, and sport. Steering feel, you can even have normal and sport. And then a few more for the hybrid system, as well as the gauge cluster. So pretty neat to see that. We'll just stick it in sport right now and get up to some speed. Has a cool sound to it. I'm assuming that is through the speakers, but it kind of sounds like a little Type R or something, I guess. So neat to have a fun sound to it when you're in the sport mode. And it's peppy. I mean, I'm only giving it half throttle, and yet, you know, we're getting up to 75% power. So it's got a lot of power on demand. And with the EV system down low, you give it some gas, and that battery is going to give you some power to those motors and really help out. So driving it's pretty impressive. I'm enjoying just how comfortable it is, especially knowing I can go like 600 miles on a tank. We're gonna go into eco mode now. So this will really do a good job using the battery as well as the engine. This is just smooth. One thing I kind of like too, the auto cancel on the turn signal. I feel like it works much quicker. Some cars you really have to get straight for it to unclick. This you're already like here and it does it. So that's one thing I notice. I always manually do that, but that's a cool touch to see. Visibility is really good, as you'd expect from any sedan. You can easily see all around. Those headrests really aren't too much in the way. I don't actually have an issue with that. Nice little sunroof, wouldn't mind a pano roof, but nonetheless, it's kind of giving you everything you want at a super affordable price. So in eco mode, we'll get up and move. I can feel the EV and the engine. Definitely don't hear the same engine tone, so that's kind of piped in through the speakers, but you can still hear the physical engine just a little bit. But it's peppy, and we're just giving it quarter throttle, just getting up to speed, being a brand new car. But honestly, I don't think you're gonna have any issues merging on to traffic, dealing with, you know, a quick maneuver that you're gonna have to do in the Accord. I feel like it's actually really well powered, and from a naturally aspirated larger four-cylinder, I feel like this is gonna be pretty robust. All right, so my honest thoughts now in the Honda Accord. This seems like a very affordable car for one. Average price of a new car these days is ridiculous. It's almost $50,000. So to get something that is mid to upper 30s out the door, that has leather on the interior, a nice multimedia screen, digital gauge cluster, actually has comfortable back seats. A lot of sedans, you know, it's a little compromised. That is great for a full-grown adult. You're not gonna be hating sitting back there. Massive trunk as well. Obviously the MPG with the hybrid is pretty insane. This seems like a really good bang for the buck. Obviously the Toyota Camry is probably the biggest competitor with this. Same price point, same efficiency, obviously just a different brand. So this has some competition for sure. Maybe Toyota, Hyundai are probably biggest competition, but I feel like Honda makes a nice product. The one drawback, I would say the styling, it's a little boring looking, quite honestly, for my taste. The outside is really lackluster, I would say. Just a little simple. I don't want to be mean to it, but I don't know. Comment below, what do you guys think of the style with the 2025 Honda Accord? I would say it's like modern simplicity, to put it in a nice way, I guess. Just not flashy enough for me. But anyway, nonetheless, the interior is pretty nice. It feels luxurious. Now, I own a Honda Civic Type R, which is a very different car from this. That's obviously the sportiest Civic. And I filmed quite a few of the normal Honda Civics, which are kind of the same thing as my car, just not as sporty. This definitely takes it up a notch in the luxury feeling with extra like premium interiors. Like this is really nice soft touch. Same with this, the leather seating, everything you touch is nice. Everything up here is a softer touch material. It's plastic, you know, kind of a foam backed plastic, but this is pretty nice for the price point. It's not lavish in your face with styling, but it's just a clean and simple, nice place to be. And of course, when you look at the pricing, that's not bad. It looks cool with the mesh, of course. I like this upgraded screen for my car, it's pretty cool. So it gives you a lot of just like, it's a nice car for the money, and it's impressive to see these days when so many things are so expensive. This is a car you can get, and it drives really good. It drives almost like a luxury car. It's no European car. Obviously, there's still a huge difference between those cars. But if you're looking for a nice, affordable car, you're not sacrificing. You're not getting a garbage interior, which is a really good touch. There's a lot of cheap cars these days that are even cheaper on the inside. The interior is a lot. That's where you're going to spend your time in your car. And this, for the money, just feels like a really good place to be, that you're going to be smiling when you're in this just because it looks good, it feels good, and it rides really nice as well. So I feel like Honda's done a good job making this feel like the elegant Civic with the extra space too. So it's plenty roomy in here for me. I mean, I could move the seat way farther back, down, whatever I need to do. So I think if you're really tall, you're probably gonna fit here good as well. And the fact that the trunk and back seats are exceptionally useful as well, I think that's a big plus. And then the power delivery and everything. I'm a performance car person, so obviously cars like this aren't my taste in general, but you can get up to speed without stressing. There's nothing worse than having an underpowered car, even for just safety reasons, getting onto the highway, merging and stuff. It is unsafe to have a slow car, honestly. So this gives you really good power delivery, and the EV power gives you instant torque down low to where it's really zippy around town. The EV mode, you're probably really only ever gonna use maybe not that much, honestly. It's kind of automatically going to do that anyway if you leave it in the auto setting, so I would leave it there. The regenerative braking with the paddles also really help quite a lot, so you're able to get that in a good spot when you can have it just do the auto braking for you and regen and charge it up. So the hybrid system works really well. You hear and feel the engine turning on, but it's nothing annoying at all. It's really seamless, kind of what you would expect. So yeah, I don't really have any like major complaints with the new Honda Accord. I think if you're looking for just a good overall well-sized mid-sized sedan without breaking the bank, this is for sure one of the top of the list cars. This and the Camry are probably the best options. So that is it for the 2025 Honda Accord. This might be my first time ever driving an Accord, quite honestly. I don't think I've ever been in one, and I am pleasantly surprised with what you get for what you pay for. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. Big shout out once again to Flo Honda of Statesville for providing this new Honda Accord EXL Hybrid for today's video. Check out their website linked below, and I'll see you guys